96 World Police Motorcycle Championships on TSN are brought to you by Labatt. Know when to draw the line. Thistle Hotels. And by the Canadian Motorcycle Association, celebrating 50 years of dedication to safe motorsport. Speed. A passion that drives the racer. Their goal is to be the fastest, the most consistent, the best prepared. No matter where they're from, it's the bond they all share. But these racers share other bonds as well. When they're not speeding down the track, they're bringing speeders and other lawbreakers to justice. As motorcycle officers from around the world don another type of uniform, the anticipation builds for what will truly be an exciting weekend of racing. We're coming to you from Derby, England, home to the Donington Park Motor Racing Circuit, where 97 police officers from 21 nations have gathered for 3 days of intense competition.
Open it up. You just leave it open.
Team Canada brings with them an effective combination of youth and experience, but can expect strong competition from the semi-professional riders of France, Italy, and Mexico. These races will be conducted according to the rules of the International Motorcyclist Federation and the British Motorcycle Association here at Donington Park. A new circuit this year is the Individual Championship. Conceived by the English organizers, this race features the top 20 qualifying riders to decide who is the fastest cop on two wheels. This pits not only nation against nation, but possibly team member against team member, depending on how each rider ranks as an individual based on their time trials. The Team Championship consists of a team of 3 riders from each of the top 7 qualifying nations for a total of 21 riders. The finishing positions of the riders from each team are totaled to determine the team's overall ranking. The team ranking the highest overall is the winner. The third and final circuit is the prestigious Race of Nations, where each nation chooses one rider to represent their country. This event is the key circuit of the competition because every nation has the opportunity to field a competitor, regardless of their performance during the time trials. Since its inception, this circuit has been dominated by the French, Italian, and American teams. But we should expect excellent performances from the teams of New Zealand and Australia, who have both been absent from this competition for several years. Each race will consist of 10 laps. The bikes being used are race-equipped 600cc motorcycles and are identical in every detail. Each rider is responsible for examining their own motorcycle so that any mechanical problems or safety concerns can be rectified.
Really wide up the right side of the tire, eh?
All pilots are required to wear a one-piece leather racing suit, gloves, boots, and an approved helmet. This year's circuit at Donington Park presents the racers with a challenging 4.2-kilometer stretch of road track. This circuit is considered very safe, but becomes extremely slippery under wet conditions. Here's how it's laid out. The start-finish line is located on the Wheatcroft front straightaway, approaching turn 1, the Red Gate corner. This is a quick right-hander with a fast out that leads into a short straight. The Craner curves are a fast incline right-left combination, which puts tremendous stress on the front end of the motorcycle at these high speeds. We'll see medium braking as the riders enter the old hairpin, a right-hander, and then some quick acceleration through a wide left under Starkey's Bridge. The riders will then gear down around McLean's corner and then go hard on the throttle through a short uphill back straightaway. As they round Coppice Corner, they're into the fastest section at Donington Park. Starkey Straight is quite long, and as we pass under the footbridge, we should start seeing speeds in excess of 200 kilometers per hour. Some very hard braking now as we enter the S's, a chicane at turns 8 and 9, then heavy on the throttle again and into Shields Straight. The riders are going uphill here and are actually blind into the Melbourne hairpin, as the start of the turn is on a slight incline. Another quick burst of speed as we go uphill again, and we're into the Goddard Corner left hairpin. This brings us back to the Wheatcroft Straight, up through the gearbox and back across the start-finish line. When we come back, we'll meet the members of Team Canada as our coverage of the 1996 World Police Motorcycle Championships on TSN continues.
You know what to do.
Wild party last night, huh? So what happened to you? Last I heard, you were headed for some body piercing place. Man, that stuff's too weird for me. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't do anything too stupid. 'Cause hey, you're the man, cool guy. See you at the beach.
The Canadian Police Officers Road Racing Team has gained respect worldwide for their excellence in racing, as well as for their ongoing efforts to promote safe motorcycling across Canada. Events like the World Police Motorcycle Championships provide the officers with an opportunity to speak with motorcycle enthusiasts from around the world, answer their questions, and share their own techniques for a safer and more enjoyable motorsport. All team members are graduates of the Fast Motorcycle Racing School at Shannonville Motor Park in Ontario, where they learn to ride fast while riding safe. The 6 officers chosen to compete here at Donington Park have been selected from police agencies across Canada. The team captain is Scott Spicer, a constable with the Metropolitan Toronto Police Service. Scott is a member of the Winged Wheels Police Precision Motorcycle Riding Team and brings over 10 years of racing experience to Team Canada. An extremely consistent rider, Scott is a sure contender with several first and second place finishes in these contests in recent years. Lance Campbell is a constable with the Toronto detachment of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Lance has been riding motorcycles for 20 years and is always a front runner in street circuit competition. A winning combination of experience and skill have made Lance one of Team Canada's most consistent front runners in both team and individual circuits. Kevin Cisorowski is an 8-year constable with the Winnipeg Police Department. Kevin has been racing motorcycles since the Canadian Police Championship races were first established. A Canadian champion himself, Kevin also competes in several racing circuits at home, adding to the experience he brings to Team Canada here at Donington Park. Pierre Valaquette is a 15-year constable with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and works in the Prime Minister's Protection Detail in Ottawa. He entered motorcycle racing in 1990, but retired for 2 years after a crash resulted in a knee injury. Team Canada welcomes Pierre's return to motorsport, and we all look forward to seeing him in action here at Donington Park. The team alternates are Matt Parr, a constable with the Peel Regional Police Service in Ontario. Matt was a member of the Canadian team attending the 1994 Police Championships in Toulon, France, where he earned the position of the team's most improved rider. As his experience continues to grow, Matt's skill at racing is sure to benefit the Canadian Championship teams for years to come. Michael Jenkins is an 18-year veteran with the Metropolitan Toronto Police Service. Michael participates in several vintage class motorcycle races across Ontario, and his experience and knowledge of racing is always a welcome benefit to the Canadian Championship teams. Rounding out the roster is the team manager, David Stewart, a veteran officer with the Metropolitan Toronto Police Service.
It doesn't matter whether the motorcycle riders in our team are riding in the racetrack here at Donington or on their own police motorcycles in the day-to-day work. Safety is a maximum factor. We don't want people getting hurt inside our racing team. We don't want people getting hurt on the highways on a daily basis whenever the officers are out on their motorcycles. That is a major factor, that they're trying to stop other people getting hurt, and at the same time they have to be really careful that they do not get hurt also.
The practice sessions are the first opportunity for the riders to test the track. Qualifiers will consist of 4 untimed and 2 timed sessions of 10 laps each. Each rider's single fastest lap time from the time sessions will determine the riders to participate in each of the 3 races and their starting positions. The practice sessions continue throughout the morning, giving the riders a good opportunity to learn the track. But as the day rolls on, the weather takes a turn for the worse. Rain has made the track extremely slippery, and the bikes are starting to fall. To this point, the standard 1 crash rule has been in effect. Drop your bike once, and you're disqualified from competition. But by noon hour, 12 bikes have been dropped, prompting serious safety concerns from track officials and team managers alike.
That people are here now to learn the track. That's all they're here to do, not to race against each other in this session. And people are throwing away bikes to beat the man. That's what's happening.
An emergency team managers meeting is called where the track officials propose a hard-nosed solution.
What they wanted to do shortly after that, they told David Hall that if one rider crashes, then the whole team is disqualified. In our case, we've got 6 riders. So I put it to David that I thought that was a little bit harsh. And they relented and said, okay, if one person crashes, the team is out. Okay, we have 2 separate teams. There's no excuse for what's happening here. Okay, absolutely none.
After much deliberation on the part of the team managers, it is decided that the standard 1 crash rule will remain in effect, provided that the drivers try to control their adrenaline and take the track conditions into better consideration. Irresponsibility on the track will result in the disqualification of your entire team.
We've come 3,500 miles. We didn't come here to throw away in the practice session.
All the riders take this warning very seriously. Fast laps continue to be turned out during the practice sessions while most of the bikes stay upright. This has allowed the riders to experience complete practice circuits under green, allowing them to better learn the track for their time sessions at full speed. As early afternoon gives way to the time qualifiers, the track conditions have improved, and the racers are eager to get going. During the practice sessions, we saw an average lap pace of 153.30 at 127.7 kilometers per hour. The current track conditions are sure to quicken that pace, as the riders have also gained a much greater knowledge of the track's lines here at Donington Park. The Italians are extremely fast, with Giuliano Ravelli turning a 150.32, barely inching out Francois Siciliani of France, who turns a 150.36. Lance Campbell is on top of the Canadian pace, turning a 154.25, followed by Kevin Cicerowski in a disappointing 30th spot, with a 156.79. By the end of the time trials, we see the Italians and the French dominating many of the top 10 positions. Giuliano Ravelli qualifies in first, Francois Siciliani second, and Paulo Blora qualifies third.
Each year in Canada, nearly half of the motorcycle riders killed on our highways had been drinking or were legally impaired. Riding a motorcycle requires 100% concentration. Fact is, after your first alcoholic drink, you will be slightly impaired. If you're going to ride, be responsible, know when to draw the line. Si vous conduisez une moto, soyez responsable et sachez quand vous arrêtez. Merci.
No, there's nobody here by that name. A breakfast special? What the? Speak to my who?
Mrs. Williams? Is your husband back? Could he talk to me?
Get ringside for boxing's best cards. The main event, Punch It Up on TSN.
TSN's Pub Night. The finest national and international action from the world's best. Darts, snooker, casual or black tie. Snooker, darts, Pub Night. Watch for it only on TSN.
With the time trials complete, the members of the Canadian Police Officers Road Racing Team are able to relax by taking in the sights around the lush English countryside. Within a short driving distance of the track are the communities of Donington Castle, Robin Hood's fabled Nottingham, and of course the instantly recognizable London, England. Leisure time, however, is short and sweet, and soon it's time to get back to racing. Concentration and attitude are of key importance. Riders must run through the track in their heads to help get themselves into the proper mindset. The first of 3 circuits is the World Police Road Race Individual Championship. Starting positions for all races were determined in the time trials. Lance Campbell, the only Canadian rider in the Individual Championship, is starting 18th and has some serious work to do if he hopes to be a factor in this race. Giuliano Rovelli of Italy has the pole, with Francois Siciliani of France starting 2nd and Paulo Blore of Italy starting 3rd. It's a clean start with Paulo Blore of Italy passing both Siciliani and Rovelli right off the top. Lance Campbell also fires off well, passing Yves Bollaert of Belgium, who gives his bike too much throttle off the top. As the riders go through the Craner curves on the backside of the track, the positions are already starting to space out. On lap 4, Siciliani of France is running a fast 3rd, but is a little loose going into turn 1. He drops his bike in the gravel and fails to get it restarted, putting him out of the race. Up front is Italy's Paulo Blore, running a comfortable 5 seconds in front of the 2nd place rider, Yannick Legaudieu of France, with 3rd belonging to Italy's Giuliano Rovelli. Meanwhile, a little farther back in the pack, Lance Campbell is running very well, having made up 6 spots and currently holds the 12th position. On lap 7, tragedy strikes Team Canada. Lance Campbell is too fast approaching the Coppice corner and rides off the track and into the gravel. It takes 3 track marshals to push him out, and Lance loses a lot of time in all the positions he has gained. At the checkered flag, it's Paulo Blore of Italy with a race time of 18:19.06 and an average speed of 132.75 kilometers per hour. In 2nd is Yannick Legaudieu of France with Giuliano Rovelli in 3rd. Next is the Team Championship. With Francois Siciliani of France out with a minor injury he suffered during his crash in the Individual Championship, it now leaves the Italians as the top 3 qualifiers in this race. Giuliano Rovelli has the pole, Paulo Blore is in position 2, and Oscar Bellini is starting 3rd. Representing Team Canada, we have Lance Campbell starting 16th, Kevin Cicerowski in 17th, and Scott Spicer in 18th. As the riders get the green light, we must remember that although any certain rider may cross the finish line first, it doesn't necessarily mean his team is the winner. The finishing positions of the riders from each team are totaled to determine the team's overall ranking. The team ranking the highest overall is the winner. However, that doesn't seem to be a huge factor here on lap 5, as Paulo Blore of Italy is extremely fast. His current average speed is 133 kilometers per hour, and he's turning lap times of 1:48. That's well ahead of the pace and a full 13 seconds in front of his 2nd place teammate, Giuliano Rovelli, currently running at 129 kilometers per hour. 3rd position currently belongs to Jean-Paul Winola of France. The top Canadian, Lance Campbell, is currently running 11th, with his teammates Kevin Cicerowski in 14th and Scott Spicer in 18th position. At the checkered flag, it's Paulo Blore way out in front, finishing with a race time of 18:22.07, catapulting his Italian team into 1st place, with Giuliano Rovelli finishing 2nd and Oscar Bellini finishing 6th. Receiving 1 point for each of their finishing positions, that gives the Italians a total of 8 and their 1st place ranking. France ranks 2nd, with Jean-Paul Winola finishing 3rd, Yannick Legaudieu finishing 4th, and Bruno Vio finishing 5th. England ranks 3rd, with Martin Powell finishing 8th, Andy Pike finishing 9th, and Steve Elliott finishing 12th. Canada ranks 5th. It's now on to the 3rd and final race of this year's World Police competition, the prestigious Race of Nations. On the pole is Australia's Brad Bennett, with Rupert Schuber of Australia in 2nd and Hendrik van Rintel of Belgium in 3rd. Canada's Kevin Cicerowski is starting 4th. green, Cisorowski looks extremely strong, overtaking Van Rintel almost immediately. And by the time the bikes cross the start-finish line completing lap 1, it's Kevin Cisorowski out in front, leading the pack. Cisorowski continues to run strong, and his lead over the second-place Hendrik Van Rintel has widened to almost 4 seconds. But on lap 3, disaster falls on Martin van Jersen of Holland and Brian Wood of Wales, as these two riders are involved in a crash approaching turn 1. This forces out a red flag and an end to Cisorowski's widening advantage. The bikes are lined up in their respective order as the riders await a restart. After a short pause while the debris is removed from the track, the riders get the green light, and Denmark's Steen Petersen passes Cisorowski on the inside, approaching turn 1. We see several flip-flops between first to third place as a battle has begun between Denmark, Canada, and Roy Grassi of England. Then on lap 8, Cisorowski gets the opening he was looking for and takes Steen Petersen on the outside. Roy Grassi falls off the pace as Cisorowski is again creating distance between himself and the second-place rider. At the checkered flag, it's all Kevin Cisorowski, finishing a full 4 seconds in front of Steen Petersen of Denmark, who takes second, with Germany's Achim Jessinghausen taking third.
Yeah! Woo! 1, 2, 3! Yes! Oh. Good race, guys. Good race.
With this win, the Canadian Police Officers Road Racing Team has added its name to a distinguished list of national competitors who have dominated this event in recent years.
Thank you. What a race, very hard. I gotta give it to all the other guys I raced against. They fought hard, they passed me. It was nip and tuck all the way.
You had a bit of a battle going on in the back there. What happened there?
Well, he tried to outbrake me. I tried to outbrake him. Last lap, I pulled past, and we both, I'm sure he was sliding. I know my back end slid all the way through the corner and just took him to the finish line.
Great day. 5th team out of 21 in the world. We take the Race of Nations, a premier race. It always has been a premier race. We bring 6 guys over here. They bust their ass, and we take 6 guys back. And nobody's hurt. That's good.
Motorcycle riding takes a certain kind of positive attitude. One way to ensure this is by taking professional motorcycle riding courses that are available to you. This will help to ensure your confidence and safety on the racetrack and, more importantly, on our streets.
You know what to do. Wild party last night, huh? So what happened to you? Last I heard, you were headed for some body-piercing place. Man, that stuff's too weird for me. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't do anything too stupid. 'Cause hey, you're the man, cool guy. See you at the beach.
10 seasons on the road, and we're still motoring. New day, new times. Check us out for all you need to know to go Motoring 97. Sundays, only on TSN.
The 1996 World Police Motorcycle Championships on TSN are brought to you by Labatt. Know when to draw the line. Thistle Hotels. And by the Canadian Motorcycle Association, celebrating 50 years of dedication to safe motorsport.
To summarize, we of Team Canada would like to invite you to join us in a season of safe motorcycling. But please remember the 3 rules of safe motorcycling mentioned previously, that being proper attitude, safe speeds, and 0 tolerance for alcohol. Thank you, Canada, and safe motorcycling.
Every year, it's the thrill of the race which brings them together. but it's the brotherhood they share off the track which bonds them. And as the awards are handed out for another championship competition, these officers will soon return home to their families, to their friends, and to the job they love so much. Today on the track, they felt like the heroes they once looked up to as children. Little do they know that every day, they're in fact heroes to us all.